Hi guys, it's Jodie and welcome to a new video. So today I'm going to be talking about all of the books that should be on your Christmas list this Christmas. So I have a very big stack of books. Some of these are just like really pretty additions and some are just books that I just really enjoyed and just think people should put on their Christmas list. So if you'd like to see all of those books, then please keep watching this video, but I'm going to get straight into it. Some of these synopses for some of these may be quite brief, but I will try to fit in as much as I can. I just don't want this video to be too long. Okay, so I'll go for this one first because it's on the top of the pile. This is one I haven't finished yet, but I feel like it's one that everyone would really appreciate during winter and Christmas and that kind of season. So this doesn't have to be just like a festive kind of book. This is literally a book for winter nights. So obviously winter is still like January through February, so this would make a really nice gift, and I just feel like a lot of people would love this. I've only read like about 2 of the stories in here, but I really enjoyed them and they are perfect for the winter season. But that is The Haunting Season, and this is a collection of ghostly tales for long winter nights, and this is by several really big authors. So we have Bridget Collins, we have Laura Purcell, we have Camille Hargrave and Jess Kidd, and lots of other authors in here. And these are just really creepy, spooky, wintry, gothic kind of stories, and I've really enjoyed this, and I feel like it's just a stunning book as well to have, and one that should be on people's Christmas list this year because it really is so good already and just perfect to read during winter. And I don't know, like it's just so fun. I don't think I'm going to be finishing it in December, but I am planning to read it through December and through January, and this will just be nice to snuggle up with on winter evenings and be scared. So yeah, I'm really enjoying this, and I definitely feel like a lot of you guys would as well, which is why I think you should put it on your Christmas list. Next is just a book that I really enjoyed last year. I think I read this in December, and there has been a lot more hype for it recently because the second book recently released. The second book is so much better than the first. I loved it, the spice, just everything. That is Kingdom of the Wicked by Kerry Maniscalco. So if you haven't already read this book, you definitely should. I didn't give it 5 stars because the ending was very rushed to me, and yes, there are some plot holes in this, but this book is still amazing. It's a enemies to lovers kind of romance between a witch and a prince of hell. Like, what is there not to like? I just really love this. It's got elements of a thriller in it, there's murder mystery in here, it's fantasy, it's got romance in it. It's just really good, and I just thoroughly enjoyed this. But the second book, oh my god, if you weren't sure on the first one, then just read it so you can read the second book, because the second book is just so much angst and just so much wrath, and I love wrath so much. So yeah, just add this to your Christmas list if you're looking for a really good fantasy book and you're looking for something a bit darker and a bit of like murder mystery to it as well. Then this is definitely the book for you and would make a really good contender for a spot on your Christmas list this year. Next we have The Nature of Witches by Rachel Griffin. So this was actually one of my Patreon buddy reads this year, and it's probably one of my favourite books that we read this year, and I love this. This book is just so unique to me and just in a league of its own. It's absolutely beautiful for one. It has some absolutely gorgeous lines in it, really relatable, really lyrical, and like it has magic and witchery in here. And the magic system in this is so interesting because it's all based upon the seasons, and to me, if magic were ever to exist in real life, it would be exactly like how it is in this book. It is so almost realistic, like you can believe it to be true, and I just loved it. It has some really important themes on like climate change and how we as humans act, and it also covers relationships and dealing with loss and grief. There are some trigger warnings for loss and grief in here and some other ones as well, so if you go onto Goodreads you can read the full list of trigger warnings there, I believe, because there are a few. But this is just such a beautiful book. It's just stunning, like it's stunningly written, it's relatable, it's got an amazing magic system, and the world building is done very well. The characters are interesting as well. There's a bit of romance in here. Romance in this for me was probably not great, but I still enjoyed it. If the romance had been better, I probably would have loved this even more. But yeah, this book is just so good, and also if the premise isn't enough, then the aesthetic will be, because look at this. Have you ever seen a naked book that gorgeous? I think not. So yeah, I definitely feel like everyone should read this book, and I feel like everyone should put it on the Christmas list because it is just a stunning book to read, and I feel like people will just read it and see that it has a lot more to it than just being a witchy book, and I just loved it. It was really, really good, and I feel like a lot of other people would love it as well, so definitely one to go on the Christmas list this year. So this next one is one that has blown up on TikTok and in the book community this past year. This is a book that actually got released, I think, in 2011, and I read it for the first time during the first lockdown, so it was like the start of 2020, and I instantly fell in love with this author's writing and the story. It was unlike anything I'd ever read before. I generally don't branch into fiction, but this book was so worth it, and it's so unbelievably beautiful but heartbreaking and incredible and just amazing, and it deserves all the hype that it has gotten this past year. Like, it truly is deserving of it, and I'm so happy for the author. I mean, it did well anyway and was always popular, but the fact that it's kind of got a resurgence again like 10 years later is just incredible, and it's just so deserved, and I love it. And apparently it is being made into either a show or a movie, which I did not know but saw on TikTok, so I hope that's true. That is the Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller, and specifically you should get this beautiful 10th anniversary edition. It's gorgeous, it's gold foiling, just beautiful hardback, so even if you already maybe have Song of Achilles, maybe get yourself this one for Christmas or ask someone else to. This edition is so stunning, and I'm just so happy that I have it. For those of you who don't know, Song of Achilles is a book that is inspired by Greek mythology, particularly the Trojan War and Patroclus and Achilles, and in this we follow them as young boys growing up into adults, and Achilles fulfilling this prophecy to do with the Trojan War and Hector, and there's romance in here. There's also other characters, and what I like most about this, if you're into Greek mythology and reading Greek mythology, is if you've read maybe Silence of the Girls by Pat Barker, which I know I'm going to pronounce this incorrectly, but it's just the way I pronounce it, Briasis, but you'll know who I'm on about. That focuses on her perspective of the Trojan War, so if you've read that book but haven't read Song of Achilles, give this a go, because I found it so interesting to see the two different points of view of the Trojan War from both a female gaze and a male gaze. It's just so interesting, and the contrast between the two is amazing, and I feel like it makes you appreciate each book even more. So yeah, if you've read that book, then definitely give this one a go. If you've read Song of Achilles but haven't read Silence of the Girls, definitely read that if you enjoyed this, because it's just so interesting to see it from the female perspective. But yeah, I feel like Madeline Miller just does such a good job at going into the Trojan War and these characters, and the writing is just so lyrical and beautiful that when I read this and it was talking about certain things like figs and the foods they were eating, the breeze and like the warmth of the sun, you can really feel yourself as those characters and imagine those things so realistically, and that is how you know a writer is writing something really, really well. So yeah, I'd highly recommend this book if you haven't. If you have read it, then this is a gorgeous addition to put on your Christmas list. You won't be disappointed in it. It's just so stunning. I just love staring at it. It has a gold ribbon in it as well. What's not to love about this edition? So next we have a book that I really enjoyed. So if you guys are a fan of Holly Black's Cruel Prince series, then you need to get this book, because not only is it more carded and jewed, but it's just a stunning book to have, and the illustrations in this are absolutely beautiful. It would make an amazing present for yourself or for someone to gift you if you are a fan, and believe me, you do need it. So that is How the King of Elfhame Learned to Hate Stories by Holly Black. So this is a collection of kind of short stories, all from Cardin's perspective, and it's just so fun. It's not very long and it's not what I expected, but I loved it. I read this in one sitting, and it's so good to see it from his point of view. And the illustrations in this book, guys, are absolutely incredible. Some of my favorites, honestly, like, they are just so beautiful. And yeah, if you're a fan of that series, you need this book in your life. I just adore it. This is the Waterstones edition here, or just the standard one, I think. I can't remember if this was an exclusive one, I don't know. I also have the Fairy edition, which comes in black, which is beautiful, and I have the purple edition, which I have no idea. Maybe the purple one was Fairy, the black one was the exclusive Waterstones one. I have 3 copies of this book is what I'm trying to say, and they're all equally stunning. And yeah, if you're a fan of this series, then definitely get this, because it is just so beautiful. It's so nice to have. It's a really, really fun time, and I just think so many people would love this, and if you haven't got it already, Then another book to put on your Christmas list, which I highly recommend and recently read, and it's just a beautiful book as well, is Stephanie Garber's A Once Upon a Broken Heart. So this features some of the characters from Caraval. Now I've never read that series. I did briefly start Caraval after I read this, but I decided it just wasn't the time and put it back. I do plan to read that series eventually, and I hope maybe next year will be the year. But yeah, this is just amazing. I read this, like I said, not knowing anything about Caraval, so if you've read Caraval you can appreciate things in here a lot more than you could if you haven't read it. But I love this. I read this book in one sitting. I stayed up till 4 AM to read this. I was hooked. I loved it. I love Jax. I love the main character. I love the world and just everything that happened in here and the kind of romance that was going on. It was just such a good story. Like, it's so magical and just well written. I don't know, I just loved the world and the characters. And basically in this we follow a girl, I can't remember her name, Evangeline Fox, and she basically like is head over heels for this guy, and he goes to marry her stepsister. She's heartbroken, wants to stop the wedding, and as a result kind of makes a deal with Jax, and in exchange for stopping it he will want 3 kisses at any time of his choosing. And I think something to do with his kisses are like lethal or something, I can't remember. And it doesn't go how she thought it would, and then she ends up this kind of conquest. I can't even remember exactly what happened. So it's basically just her and Jax, and yeah, I don't want to give too much away, and I don't even know how to explain what this book is about. Basically it's really friggin' good. It's just such good writing, world building, angst, everything in here. Like, I just love this book so much, and it's just, oh yeah, just put this on your Christmas list. And also you may be lucky enough to receive one of the editions that still has this gorgeous art underneath. This is just a beautiful book, and I just feel like if you haven't already got it, put it on your Christmas list and thank me later. So next is a graphic novel, and that is Law of Olympus. So obviously I had to put this on here. This is by Rachel Smith, and this is based off a webtoon, which I've never read, but I read this recently and loved it. Again, if you're into Greek mythology, definitely put this on your Christmas list. It is all about Persephone and Hades, and I really enjoyed this, and I'm so excited for the rest of the volumes. So yeah, if you're a fan of Greek mythology, then definitely put this on your Christmas list. The art style is really pretty, and it's just fun, and yeah, if you're a Greek mythology fan, you're obviously gonna love this, so it's definitely worthwhile. If you are one of my fellow witchy people and you like anything to do with like the history of witchcraft and the occult and all of those sorts of things, then put this book on your Christmas list. This is Christopher Dell's The Occult, Witchcraft and Magic in Illustrated History. This is a big hardback, and this is beautiful, and you need this in your witchy collection if you don't already have it. This is filled with different imagery and illustrations and history and just really cool stuff, and this is one of my favorite books I own. And it's just, yeah, this is the book if you are interested in anything to do with the occult and witchcraft. Put this on your Christmas list. It is really good. And following the theme of witchcraft, I have this gorgeous book from the library of I can never say this, Astorica. I don't think I'm pronouncing that right, but this is the witchcraft book, and this has one of my favorite paintings on the front, which is another reason I love this so much. This is a gorgeous big hardback volume, and this is just so stunning. You can also get a tarot version of this and an astrology edition, I believe. Again, this is just filled with gorgeous paintings, illustrations and history and all sorts to do with witchcraft, and I love this so much. And yeah, if you like witchcraft, you should definitely put this on your Christmas list, because just look how beautiful it is. I'm obsessed with it, love it. I definitely want to get the other books, the tarot and the astrology one, but this one is my favorite. Love it so much, and this is just the most gorgeous like witchcraft book that I own. But lastly, I just have a few like pretty books that you might want to put on your wish list. So the first two I have here are both from Batsford, and these are gorgeous. They're just really nice books. So I have The Treasury of Folklore, Woodlands and Forests, Wild Gods, Wild Trees and Werewolves, and then I also have Dark Fairy Tales of Fearless Women, and these are just both really gorgeous books. If you like your mythology, folklore kind of stuff, definitely pop these on your Christmas list. They are just really nice. They're really nice hardback size, gorgeous, really nice illustrations as well. and just full of cool myths and legends and folk tales and things like that. So yeah, these are definitely a good one to pop on your Christmas list. And then lastly, I have a Grimm's Complete Fairy Tales by Canterbury Classics edition. So I have loads of editions of these books. I love any editions I can get my hands on of Grimm's fairy tales. This was very kindly gifted to me by one of my patrons and subscribers, Vanessa. Thank you again, Vanessa. But this is just a gorgeous book, and I feel like if there is a kind of classic kind of tale or story that you really like, definitely look at the Canterbury Classics editions, because these are really pretty. You can also get Barnes & Noble editions, but I think Canterbury Classics are maybe a little bit more accessible in the UK. But if there's a book you particularly like, then see if they maybe have this edition to pop on your Christmas list, because these are beautiful. They're like leather and they're just so pretty to collect, and I absolutely adore this edition. And oh, they're just so pretty. They have a ribbon in as well, just so stunning. So these are definitely worth popping on your Christmas list. If there's a story that you really love, this would be a really nice like addition to get your hands on. And then lastly, because I know that a lot of people who watch my videos are fans of Sarah J Maas, I thought it'd be worth popping this edition on, because I get questions about it all the time. So I don't know if this is definitely still available. I think you'll probably find it on Book Depository, but this is like a special collector's edition of A Court of Thorns and Roses, and I know this book has recently spiked again in its popularity. It was always popular, but since TikTok or like BookTok became a thing, it's even more popular. So this is a really gorgeous edition if you are a fan of this book. So it comes with this gorgeous slipcase that looks like this here. Absolutely stunning. And then we have the book itself, which has Feyre and the wolf on the front in the forest, which is just so beautiful. I have this on display on my shelves, and this is what people always ask me about. So here is the back as well, and this is just a gorgeous edition. If you are a fan of this book, then yeah, the chapter headings as well, then yeah, this is definitely worthwhile putting on your Christmas list. But yes, that is all of the books I think you should have on your Christmas list this year. I hope you all get some really nice books for Christmas if you choose to celebrate it, and if you do get books for Christmas like I often do, then we are very fortunate to be able to receive and give them, and I feel very lucky to be able to sit here and tell you guys about books that I think you should pop on your list. And yeah, I just really hope that you guys have a wonderful Christmas, or just a lovely December if you choose not to celebrate Christmas. These are just some amazing books to treat yourself to, or a friend even, or a loved one at Christmas time or any time of the year. These are just all wonderful books, and I'm just really happy to share them with you guys. Yes, if you did make it to the end of this video, then leave an emoji in the comments. It can be any emoji that you like, a bookish one, a Christmassy one, wintry one, a witchy one. Just leave whichever emoji you like. And also please give this video a thumbs up if you did enjoy it. Let me know in the comments if you have any of these editions or these books, or if there's any of these that you are going to be popping on your Christmas wish list. Let me know which ones as well, and maybe in the comments everyone could link their wish list, their Amazon wish list. Maybe we could all do a bit of gifting in the comments. That might be nice if anyone is able to do that. I don't know, if you want to link your Amazon wish list down below, then feel free to do that. I also have my Amazon wish list linked in my description box if you're looking for further books to get this Christmas. If you're looking for further kind of recommendations or books to pop on your Christmas list, then you can have a browse through that and see if there's any other ones that take your fancy. But yes, I hope you guys did enjoy this. I do have a Patreon as well, where you can find extra festive content from me, such as a come Christmas shopping with me video. There's a Christmas decor haul and a decorate for Christmas with me video on there, and I hope you guys are enjoying all of my festive content so far this year. I am so excited for Christmas, and I'm really enjoying sharing all of these videos. So yes, I hope you guys have enjoyed this. I hope you're all safe and well. I hope you're reading lots of cozy festive books, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.